make poor shot selections.
Love 40, 3 break points for Graf.
And you wonder just how much
15-40
nerves could play a part. Inner physical fatigue often happens that way.
first service.
In the locker room before the match, she was very relaxed on the phone. Didn't appear to be any signs of any real nervousness or fear.
Called wide. Graf was on the way round. She thought it was good. Jane Tabor agrees with the call again on that far sideline. So unless it's an obvious error, there'll be no overrule. Still a break point for Graf. This now becomes a very critical game for Sabatini. Graf knows that she squandered 3 break point opportunities.
Advantage Graf.
I think Mr. Graf would like that forehand much better than some of the others he's seen today. Steffi's starting to find the groove on the forehand. Look at that angle.
I think she realized if she can get 2 service breaks here, Betsy, this second set's history, and she's into a battle in the third. Then break point again.
Again, an error from Steffi. She's back ready to play. Sabatini taking her full 30 seconds. They've been playing for exactly 1 hour.
Match started at 10-4 here, local time.
So 4 break points fought off and serving to hold. Still a break behind.
And Sabatini, after being in trouble, survives. Graf leads 3 games to 2. Open women's singles semi-final day here. And what a battle this has turned into, with Steffi Graf losing the first set against Gabriela Sabatini. Sabatini looked as though she was exhausted in the early part of the second set. Graf had 4 break points and couldn't convert on any one of them in the last game. So now this second set is another Another difficult situation for the #1 seed, but she still has that one service break.
The first 2 games of the second set were absolutely critical. Steffi had a break point on Gabby's serve in the first game. And then Gabby had a break point on Steffi's serve in the second game, and those 2 games really proved important.
30 love, Graf. Graf trying to play those drop shots, Betsy, and she's just about got a 50% margin with them, hasn't she?
That's her backhand slice is normally so consistent. It stays so low. Rarely does she make as many errors as she's made today. There've been more on the forehand side. That's the shot right there that Graf does not normally miss.
30 all. Kirk Douglas being a very interested spectator all day. And what a time to serve an ace, just when you feel as though you're letting things slip. Come up with a serve like that. That's the only ace she served today, and it takes it to 40-30. Looking for the big forehand and mishit it, and Gabriela Sabatini knows that she's starting to lose a little bit of control here as Steffi Graf holds serve. Extends that lead now to 4-2 in the second set.
Jan Tiriac watching. Always been very interested in ladies matches. The famous Pancho Segura, also another very interested spectator.
All. Still, those unforced errors persist, and that is what is keeping Gabriela Sabatini in this match at the moment. 30-15. Steffi Graf still trying to come up with another short one, Betsy, and they're just not getting over the net. (40-15).
I'd still like to see Steffi, instead of trying to draw Sabatini into the net as much as she is, to be the aggressor and attack herself. She's had plenty of opportunity to get to the net. finished the points earlier. She's an excellent volleyer once at the net, technically very sound, but is not comfortable moving forward to volley.
That one's wide, so Sabatini holds. When we come back, Steffi Graf serving at 4-3.
Graf leads 4 games to 3.
Much more relaxed and confident looking Graf than we saw in the first set, where she committed many more unforced errors than she probably made the entire year. Good wrong footing forehand. It's the short backhand. Graf looking for the cross-court forehand.
This is certainly a pro Sabatini crowd here at the moment. 15-30. These fans have been here now. They've watched 6 hours of tennis. The first of the women's semi-final started at 11 o'clock this morning. It's just a little over 5:02 to be precise, in the afternoon. Total unforced errors in the first set. Just to give you an idea of what happened, Steffi Graf made 15 unforced errors in the first set, as opposed to Gabriela Sabatini's 9. I would think that has changed somewhat in the second set. Graf 40-30, 4-3.
Beautiful point. Do you think the New Yorkers are pro Sabatini? I think they love the underdog. Just look at some of these shots Sabatini comes up with. It's a great effort to get to that ball. Graf didn't get that away enough. Now look at this forehand passing shot. Look at the angle. Is what makes it impossible for Graf to reach. And the reaction says it all.
Unbelievable tennis from both ladies, and we're back to juice. And it's wide, and listen to the oohs and the ahs from the crowd. Another magnificent rally, and Graf finished it off by going to the net. It's an uncharacteristic move. Sabatini taking a long walk around the baseline. Another tough point for her. We talked about this at the early stages of the second set, but maybe she's thrown that off because she's been moving quite well during the rally. So it's a game point to Graf. big difference as far as I'm concerned, as far as the aggressive abilities of both girls. When Sabatini gets her chance, she is capable of going forward and getting that ball in the air, whereas Graf hesitates. I think she has the same capabilities, but doesn't like to do it. She takes a couple of steps backwards, whereas Gabriela Sabatini will go in. Juice again.
She has all the equipment in the world to get to the net, Sabatini, as does Graf. Again, a game point for Graf to extend her lead to 5-3.
And a great volley, great court coverage from both girls there, and it was Graf who finally put the volley away.
Graf leads 5-3.
A sad brother looking on as he's rooting for his sister Gabby here in the second set.
So Steffi Graf now extends that lead to 5-3.
Whoever has been the aggressor, and certainly in this second set, has reaped the reward.
All good. That looked as though it was way long, and the big heavy topspin brought it down right smack on the line.
It's one of the most beautiful looking shots in women's tennis, Sabatini's backhand topspin down the line.
Good move, good tactic there from Sabatini, knowing she's a little weary. Serve and volley, shorten the points down. Both these girls can volley. Technically, they both have excellent volleys.
13-15.
Sabatini caught in no man's land. I think she wanted to go in and changed her mind and started to back up.
(30-15). Another drop shot there from Steffi Graf.
40-30.
Takes it to 40-30.
Good slice motion. Watch the footwork as she tries to chase this drop, get to this drop shot. It's been an effective tactic for Graf. She's used it well in the second set, and it has worked because Sabatini is very fatigued.
Some fine volleying from Sabatini. She holds. Graf leads 5-4. coverage of the US Open. Normally at this stage we'd be off air and you'd be enjoying the cartoon company, but this match here, the #1 seed, Steffi Graf, who won the Grand Slam last year, this could be one of the upsets of the year. Gabriela Sabatini won the first set 6-3. We know you're enjoying it. We're going to stay with it.
Graf serving to win this set. Serving at 5-4, 15 love.
Two points away from the second set, and again this brings up the scheduling problem that players disagreed with here today. They did not play the women's singles back-to-back. They put in a men's doubles that went for over 3 hours. And the winner of this match has to come back out tomorrow for the women's final. So 3 set points for the #1 seed.
Triple set point.
And there it is, into the open court goes the Graf forehand, that patented stroke. And it is 1 set all. Peter Graf and Pavel Slozal there, very relieved at the situation at hand at the moment. You mentioned early in the second set, after a very long game, that Gabriela Sabatini looked leg weary. We'll find out what happens as the German flag is waved in the audience. The early stages of this third set will tell the story. A very short second serve there from Sabatini, and it was dealt with very harshly, and that's the shot that Sabatini was getting a little more depth on in the first set, and Graf making a lot of errors. Not so now as the shadows come over the court. You can see them there. It's very difficult conditions to play in at the moment.
Head-to-head, Graf does lead 16-3. That's what we saw a bit of in the first set. Uncharacteristic errors from Graf.
30-15.
These two could not have more opposed court demeanors. Graf always bouncing around, always ready to play, always waiting, wanting the next point to come.
That one's wide, and a disappointed Sabatini throws her head in the air in anguish.
Sabatini, on the other hand, looks just the opposite of eager and energetic. Sometimes looks tired even when she's not. She guessed right, saved a break point.
Another long and grueling rally.
Graf draws Sabatini in. Sabatini down the line approach. Now watch her just run to cover the cross court.
Well, they've played one another. This is their 20th meeting. They know pretty much the game plan, where that one's going to go. Juice. Wide. And Betsy, you mentioned that sometimes Sabatini looks tired when she isn't. I think we both feel she is at this stage. Break point, Graf.
We felt she was tired in the second game of the second set.
And a very wild backhand there. Graf breaks, 1-love, third set. This second women's semi-final, Steffi Graf walking confidently as she has a break in the third set after winning the second set. And I'm sure you folks at home are saying, well, how can an athlete get tired after a set in a couple of games? And this has been the history of Gabriela Sabatini. She has worked hard on her fitness, but just the way she plays, the energy she expends, the nervous energy also in a situation like this, and the way with those long backswings, and she just takes a lot out of her. She grunts every time she hits the ball. Long backswings. But maybe this match is not over. Maybe she will find a second win and crawl back into this third and decisive set.
It's definitely been something in her career.